Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a makeup tutorial on this look right here, specifically focused on the eyes. As you can tell by the title, this is a makeup tutorial for brown eyes, so I made it a point to really just explain the eyeshadow portion in great depth. I use a couple of products I have not used on camera before, but of course everything that I use, if you have similar things at home, these are not shades that are super uncommon. Bronzes, browns, purples are found in so many palettes, including in a bunch of mine, so I just picked a random one that I hadn't used before and I used that. But of course you can achieve this with pretty much anything that you have in your collection. I really believe that bronzes, purples, browns, taupes, those kind of shades specifically complement brown eyes a lot. They complement a lot of different other eye colors as well, but I think brown eyes really pop with those colors. And I love this look. I have kind of a bronzy lid with a purple tinge as well. Brown liner. I did not use any blacks whatsoever besides a mascara, and a purple lower lash line. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look. It's very simple. I wanted to make it as accessible as possible, so no wing liner, no falsies. Of course, if you want to elevate your look, you can always do that, but I wanted to use brown liner specifically in a kohl that I didn't have as a liquid liner anyway, and I wanted to just use mascara because I think this is a great day to night look. Like, I'm actually going to brunch right now and it's daytime, so I think this look is suitable for a day, and also if you want to wear it out at night too, I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, without further ado, if you want to see me apply this in action, don't forget to please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you know when I post, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Okay, so for the sake of time, I've already done my base and my brows. I will run through really quickly what I used. I used Too Faced Primed in Peachy to prime, Kokie Skin Perfect HD foundation in the shade 40W with my Eco Tool sponge, and the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Light 18 to conceal. Of course, my Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder in the shade Bababanana, my Cover FX Pressed Powder in medium, and I will do the rest, like my bronzer blush highlight, with you guys on camera. But with brows, I did the e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift, of course, in the shade Neutral Brown, and the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Mascara in the shade Nothing But Brunette. And I've already primed my lids with the Fenty Beauty Invisipink eyeshadow primer. I really have been loving it. So let's go ahead and get started with the eyes. I'm going to be using a palette that I have not used on my channel, I don't think, before. I don't even know if it's still available, but this is the Bubz Beauty and Beach Cosmetics 12 color eyeshadow palette. It's a really nice travel palette. You get a bunch of different shades, and I wanted to use this one because you have a couple of plums, a couple of taupes and neutrals, but also some warm shades. And I think today we're going to be incorporating all of those colors. I am going to start off with the shade Optimistic right here as my transition. And on this Morphe M504, I'm just going to sweep this onto my crease. And I'm not going to be too precise with this. This is just to get an initial base down. And transition shades are important because they allow your look to kind of flow, so you don't have harsh edges, you don't have your color story being super abrupt from like one shade to another without any kind of middle ground. So that's what I consider my transition shade to be. Middle ground, so that everything else just blends nicely on top. As you can see, it's very subtle, but at least there's a little bit of definition in there. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Inspired. It's a dark, kind of chocolatey matte. It's not super dark, but I am going to put this kind of in my outer corner, lightly dragging through my crease as well, as you see right here. Having that definition in the outer corner is something that will allow your eyes to kind of taper and open up at the ends. And as someone with hooded eyes, I really like doing this technique, but I will, as you can see, I'm dragging this through my crease as well. I concentrate the majority of the product when I freshly apply it to my brush towards the end, and then once there's not as much, I begin diffusing it through the crease, because that's how you get that nice kind of gradient effect. And I always like applying my eyeshadow like this. Like, I have my mirror down below here, but I like applying my eyeshadow so they're not like this, so I can see the crease of my eyes. And I'm going to pick up a synthetic hair blending brush, and synthetic hairs are better for picking up product more than natural hairs. Like, natural hairs are better for diffusing shadow and blending stuff out. Synthetic hairs to me are better for really packing on pigment. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick up the shade Confident right here, this matte purple, and I'm going to start kind of focusing that in the true outer V, and I'm not going to drag this through my crease as I did with that dark brown. So you see right here, I'm just going to lightly start packing this here, and I'm going to build it up as needed. But purples are such a flattering shade. Like, as you're going to see, we're going to go in with a purple eyeliner. Now I'm going to go back in with the M504, and without any additional product, I'm just going to blend out my edges. This is really important for me, especially as someone with hooded eyes, because it allows all of your steps to just kind of blend together, literally. And I like doing this in between different layers of application. Now that we kind of have that initial purple in the outer corners to give that nice definition, I'm actually going to go in with the shade Kind. It's kind of like a satin purple, and I'm going to pack this all over the lid, but don't worry if it's not precise, because I am planning on going over it with a different shade. Kind of has like a bluish duochrome. Directly on top of that, I'm going to go in with the shade Charismatic right here. It's a nice kind of copper shade, and I'm just going to pick it up with my finger, and you can see that it automatically just makes the shadow more vibrant. I'm just going to apply this all over the lid. I'm going to go in with the shade Thoughtful right here. It's kind of like a reddish brown, and I kind of want to just like layer that also on my outer corners. I'm going to do it with the Morphe M506 just to marry the copper and the purple together. The shadow's starting to come together. Now I want another wash of a purple tinge kind of all over the crease. So I'm going to go back in with the M441 and go back into Confident right here and just lightly diffuse this kind of all over into the crease as well. So as you see, I'm using these colors in a variety of different places. And I'm just kind of going with it because honestly, I had kind of a look in mind, but I didn't have any kind of etched out game plan. I really wanted to just go with the flow. And then one more time, I'm going to go back in with Charismatic, and I am just going to apply this to the lid once more, focusing on the inner corner. Ah, yes. So as you see here, it's a lot of applying, blending, and then reapplying and reblending. That's how, in my opinion, you get the best end result. Because as you're blending shadows, other shadows that you've applied will blend away just by nature of your work. So there's nothing wrong with going in and redoing your steps just so you can get that maximum payoff. Going back in with Inspired right here, that dark brown. I'm going to flicker this in my outer corner to deepen that up again. All right, and that's it for my top lid. I really like how this turned out. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but in person, it's kind of like a warm, bronzy, purplish look. And that's exactly the kind of look that I think suits brown eyes the best, or not the best, but it definitely makes them stand out. Before I apply my lower lash mascara, I am going to go in with eyeliner. I am not going to be going in with black liner today. I think for brown eyes, brown liner and purple liner actually make your eyes stand out more in a more subtle way, if that makes sense. Like, black will always make any eye color stand out, but there's something about brown eyeliner and purple eyeliner that make your eyes pop when you have brown eyes. So I'm just going to take the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade Hot Chocolate, and I'm going to just run that on my upper lash line. And then once you have that liner on, feel free to go in and smudge it out so it doesn't look super harsh. I'm going to be taking my Luxie pencil brush. I'm just going to run this along the edges to diffuse that color. Okay, now that my eyeliner's on and it's not looking super precise, but that's the kind of look I'm going for today, something a little bit more messy and laid back, but something that will still give your eyes a statement, so it doesn't look super harsh as black liner, as you can see, but it still gives a nice kind of wow effect to the eyes. I'm actually going to also tight line with this brown liner. And then for the lower lash line, I'm going to apply this NYX retractable eyeliner in the shade Deep Purple. I'm just going to apply that directly on here, and then we're going to smudge it out with the lower lash eyeshadow. So once that's on, as you can see, it looks pretty harsh right now. We're going to go back in with this palette, and I'm going to take what's the shade? Inspired, this dark chocolate brown, and I'm just going to smudge that on my lower lash line really close. And then to add one step to that purple level, I'm going to go back in with the shade Confident. I'm sorry, I'm holding this upside down just because like it's easier because the mirror's right here, but the shade names are like this. This is the shade Confident. It's that matte plum. And then with that same brush, this is a Morphe M213. I'm just going to smudge that a little bit below the lash line, just so that you can really see that purple. Okay, and then I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm going to apply my Essence Volume Boost Lash Primer. And then I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, an oldie but a goodie. And I'm just going to pack on the mascara. Of course you can put on falsies, but again, I wanted to make this simple and as easy as possible. So here we go. And you can actually totally achieve the same kind of wow level because mascara actually allows people to see your work underneath, so they can see, you know, your eyeshadow, your eyeliner, every step that you took to get to your final step, whereas sometimes lashes can just cover that up. And yes, your eyes pop, but you don't really know why they pop. You just see your lashes and you're like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, so the eyes are officially done. Well, not officially, we still gotta add inner corner highlight, but let's go ahead and move on to the rest of my face. I'm going to bronze with the Pretty Vulgar powder bronzer in the shade Bronzed B. I'm gonna take it on this Wet n Wild brush. I'm going to also take that down the sides of my nose. I'm going to take my AOA E102. Just found a bunch of AOA brushes I had, but I didn't know I had them. I found them underneath my sink, so now I'm going to use them. I'm actually going to bake a little bit just because I don't want my bronzer to look messy. I'm just going to kind of just carve out the sides of my face. I'm going to quickly wipe that away. Okay, and then for blush, I'm going to take the Essence Satin Touch Blush in the shade Satin Love. I recently repurchased this from Ulta. It was like $3, and honestly, one of the best blushes in the history of blushes. Drugstore and high-end, it's amazing. Okay, and then for highlight, I'm going to go in with the H&M Sunlit Gold Illumination Luster Powder, which is just the highlights, a really pretty peachy gold. I'm just going to take that with my my BH Cosmetics fan brush. This is a natural highlight, but you can definitely build it up to achieve a nice glow. Okay, and then I'm going to take the same highlight and I'm going to pop that on my inner corner and my brow bone with the Luxie brush. For lips, I'm going to go in with a nude because I think the eyes are pretty dramatic enough where a nude is probably the best option. I'm going to first line my lips with a Catrice lip foundation pencil in the shade Addicted to Café au Lait. I'm going to take the Tarte Quick Dry Lip Paint in the shade Bestie. And last but not least, to set my face, I'm going to be taking the Kat Von D Lock It Makeup Setting Mist. Alright everyone, and this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this brown eyes makeup tutorial or makeup tutorial for brown eyes. Of course, you can do this exact look on any other eye color and it would still look amazing. This is just the eye look that I think is super flattering, especially if you have brown eyes because of the different tones and the different colors that are on here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did, and hopefully I will see you in my next one. Mwah! Bye!